in sole possession of first place. Let's go, everybody. Man, it has been an awesome series, a great Canada Day game, just a great series general overall. We had drama, we had some great performances from Unk, and we got to keep the ball rolling tonight against those Angels on the Apple TV game. Sorry for those who don't have Apple TV. We will be live for it, though, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be live at 7 p.m. on the channel. Come join us if you don't have Apple TV. But overall, man, just honestly, it's a great time to be a Blue Jays fan. Great time to be alive.
Yeah, man. We have been on the news, or at least I've been on the news twice today. Both of us were on the news once. I was on the radio yesterday. It feels like everybody is waking up and realizing, oh, shit. Toronto can play ball, and they can play ball at a very high level. That was the realization that a lot of Yankee fans had this past week, because all of them were coming out and saying, it's like, oh, these Toronto Blue Jays, like, what's going on over there? How, like, you know, we're the Yankees. Obviously, we're a tier above. Clearly, that is not the case anymore. So I'm so happy, so thankful that they got to witness firsthand, and honestly, so did the rest of the MLB witness, the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays are 100% legit. Everyone is bought in at this current point of the season. Except
for Yankee fans, because some of them still deny. Some of them out there are accepting. Some of them out there are accepting.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know how on earth you could possibly deny at this point that, you know, Toronto is a legitimate... Like, you can say, okay, we didn't play our best ball, which is definitely true. Yankees did not play their best ball. But if you're a Yankee fan or just anyone in general, I don't know how you don't look at Toronto and go, that is a good team.
Well, it's because it's like an elitism, a classism. Like, Yankees think that they have Yankee fans, a lot of them think that they have a superiority over Toronto. And it's like, oh, we're always going to be better than you. And when you're playing great, it's cute. It's really funny. Oh, look at them. They think it's the World Series. But it's like, no, like, we literally, if that's the case, if you think we're a lesser team, then why did you lose 4 games at home at our home against us? Well, and you got dominated? Why did that happen?
That's a perfect segue to actually talk about the Michael K comment that Jamie Campbell you responded to yesterday after the sweep. Quick shout out here to Jordan Keats with the $2 donation saying, wake up, best team in the AL East. Let's fucking go. You're 100% right. Michael K, he came out and he was talking about how the Toronto Blue Jays, this was after they were all tied for first, and he was saying that the Toronto Blue Jays, they are not a team that is deserving of being the first place in the AL East. He referenced the run differential quite often, saying that, well, the Yankees, they got a run differential of over 100. Blue Jays, they're at +4 at the time. It was +4 that the Blue Jays were at.
And they're not playing great baseball. I'm sorry, they're not. Really. That's really funny. When I'm watching your team run into outs, make errors on the field, and our team is coming up with clutch hits and getting just enough great pitching to shut down your best players. Right. And manage the game well to put Aaron Judge, intentionally walk him on base in the right spots. That's so funny. It's like, where do you just get... That's just something that you just pull out of your ass. Oh, Blue Jays just don't play great baseball. It's like you're not opening up your eyes, Michael K.
Exactly, yeah. So you're talking about an elitism. That is,
that's elitism right
there. And Jamie Campbell, credit to the absolute GOAT. I don't think that we talk about how great Jamie Campbell is. Like, in terms of just broadcasters in general, he is definitely one of my favorites. And I love the fact that he'll come out and very often speaks his actual truth, speaks his mind. He had the broom in his hand last night, tossing it to the camera and saying that there is a certain Yankees broadcaster that come tomorrow morning is going to have to get on his show and look at the standings and go, the Toronto Blue Jays are deserving of a first place because, well, there they are. To Michael K's comment, I want to add on. Yes, the run differential is concerning. Yes, you could argue that the Toronto Blue Jays, for at least a portion of this season, were getting lucky to be in the spot where they are right now. And you might also be able to argue that the New York Yankees were getting unlucky, not having a better record than they do. But you just got your ass kicked by that team that is apparently not deserving of being in first place.
That's what I'm saying.
And that team that apparently was not playing good baseball. So when you're coming at us and saying we don't deserve it, you just lost 4 straight.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I was just saying. Is like they literally lost 4 straight in a row. So Michael K, you better wake up. And here's the thing, he won't. I already know he's not gonna. This is what happened. This is what made me a Blue Jay fan for life. And also, I didn't hate the Yankees for the last couple seasons because, I mean, like, we weren't really bashing heads a lot. Maybe when the Manoah thing was going on, we're bashing heads. But what really made me just despise that elitism of the Yankees was the fact that they would always downplay the Toronto Blue Jays, and that happened a lot in 2015. If you guys remember when we went on that amazing run, we won the division that year and took it away from the Yankees, what were all the broadcasters and analysts saying? Blue Jays aren't playing a good baseball team. They don't have this. They don't have that. Blue Jays aren't good. But you're losing to them, and you're losing them to them in the standings. It's a joke, man. I don't get it. We have to literally go 120 and 42 to get these guys to believe in us at that rate.
100%. Yeah. Quick shout out here to the 161 individuals that are in the chat right now. Shout out to Victoria. Loved seeing you guys on the news today.
Yeah.
If you guys saw us on the news today, please let us know in the comments, in the caption. I gave that same spiel calling out Yankee fans on the news twice this morning.
Yeah.
This is my third time, so I'm pretty
call them out.
At this
call
point.
them out, man.
But honestly, it is 100% a narrative that needs to be talked about because this team is better than a lot of, and I hate to generalize
I know.
You know, but I have to say, this team is a lot better than a lot of the broadcasters down south are giving them credit for. And it's not all of them, but there always has been this narrative from a lot of those American broadcasting companies that this Canadian baseball team, and I know it happens with the Raptors as well.
Happens all the time with the Raptors.
Just being the single Canadian squad in this American-dominated league, it gets looked down upon. And I think that this series, you could argue, where the Toronto Blue Jays destroyed America's team in the New York Yankees, was just that beautiful, beautiful slap on the head. It's like that, should have had a V8, should have realized the Toronto Blue Jays.
I haven't heard that in years.
I haven't heard that in years.
Yeah, wow, that was a throwback.
I just pulled that one out. But honestly, though, like, everybody's got to wake up to the fact that Toronto is a legitimate squad.
Yeah.
So I just want to hammer that point home.
And I said on our story today, on our Instagram story, guys, all y'all are here, so I know y'all are not bandwagoning, but if there's anybody out there that's like kind of casually tuning into this podcast, just like, oh, I hear the Blue Jays swept the Yankees. Oh, what's going on? This is a good team. And they're tuning in right now. I said on our story for Instagram, I'm like, man, you better hop on the bandwagon right now because this team is legit. Like, after what they did to the Yankees, if you want to be with us right now and not just hop on in September and in October, and you want to celebrate the, when we go deep and whatever, hop on right now because it's about to get really exciting.
100%, man. There's so many reasons to like this ball team. Let's get into a few. Quick shout out, though, before we do to Nathaniel Reisenberg with the $4.99 donation. Also, shout out to Leah, who's apparently on a beach in Aruba watching this.
Jesus.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is dedication right there. But,
that is awesome.
Happy vacation, Leah. You've certainly earned it. Before we get into some of the very exciting numbers, by the way, for the Toronto Blue Jays recently, a massive shout out here to the sponsor of our channel, Budweiser, right up somewhere, right over there. But they're awesome, guys. I mean, if you're watching a Blue Jays game, obviously you want to have your Bud. Baseball is better with your Buds. It's the official partner of the Toronto Blue Jays, as is it the partner of Blue Jays Today. Limited edition Toronto Blue Jays Budweiser cans are now available at your local LCBO, so you can literally have it with their logo on it, enjoying while the Toronto Blue Jays hopefully destroy the Angels later this season.
Hey, it's Friday night. Why don't you have yourself one or two and enjoy the Blue Jays? Yes, destroy those Angels. Let's do it.
I hope that the Toronto Blue Jays had, at least one or two yesterday because they
deserve it.
Earned it, right? And shout out to the 6-inning streak.
Yes, I was just about to say,
Whit Merrifield, hopefully going to be coming on our show at some point soon.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. But he was discussing how Toronto Blue Jays, they occasionally get after it on the airplane. And I do believe that after yesterday's performance, you guys can have a Bud. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Whenever they're flying around, especially if they're going to fly to White Sox, if they go and they dominate the Angels, you guys deserve absolutely quite a few. But they got to lock in tonight. They got to lock in and stay locked in because, man, they need to pounce on these Angels. Yeah, we overlook the Angels and we're like, oh, this is an easy team. They're right around 500 right now. They're not a walkover. Yeah, I know they don't have the great sexy players and whatnot, but they're not a walkover team, and they got to dominate them. And hopefully they can dominate them by keeping up the great offensive stats that they've been doing so far. There's some crazy history that was made during this series against the Yankees. One of the stats by Sportsnet Stats, shout out right here, they scored 36 runs, most during a 4-game series in franchise history versus the New York Yankees. And that obviously is because of George Springer, Addison, Barger, Nathan Lucas coming up clutch. You had obviously Ernie Clement, Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk was a little bit quiet this year, not gonna lie. Even Andres Jimenez came up with some big hits. But yeah, that's that just goes to show again. I just want to hammer down the Yankee point.
Well,
you guys got dummied.
36 runs in 4 games. What is that? 8 on average per game?
That is 8 on average. Quick maths, yeah.
That's really damn good. And walking into this series, you were looking at a squad that was averaging the most runs per game in baseball over the last month of time. So obviously that number has gone up, and I would anticipate that they are still number 1 in MLB, because I think in the last month of baseball, they've been around that 6 runs per game mark, which is like, when you look at a squad that wins the World Series, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I know
maybe you're not, actually.
Exactly, right? Maybe I'm not, because I know the next stat we're going to bring up. But when you look at a squad that wins the World Series, that is one of the components. Averaging 5 runs or more per game, I don't want to say that it's necessary, but in today's baseball, it kind of is. And majority of the squads that end up going deep will average at least 5 runs per game. The Toronto Blue Jays, they did not start off the season doing that in any capacity, but in the last month, they have been making up for it, which has allowed them to win 49 games in their first 87 games, which is the first time that they have done that since, would you look at that? 1993.
What happened that year?
Yeah, what happened that year? For all of our older Toronto Blue Jays fans, or, I'm going to say older, but a veteran Toronto Blue Jays fan.
Experience.
Please let us know what happened in the year of 1993, the last time that the Toronto Blue Jays won 49 games through their first 87. It wasn't 2015, wasn't 2016, wasn't 2021, all these years that we look back in recent memory and go, oh shit, that was a good year. No, I think it was a little bit better than that, how things finished off. So
things were pretty good.
Honestly, a very reassuring stat right there.
Absolutely, and I want to bring this up a little bit after. I want to glaze them a little more. I'm not gonna lie, I love glazing the Toronto Blue Jays. Who doesn't? We deserve it, right?
Look,
it's when it's warranted.
Exactly.
It's warranted,
when
right?
It is warranted. It feels good.
And I definitely want to glaze them, but I definitely want to get to the more analytical parts, because this team isn't perfect as of right now. Obviously, the pitching is a must addressed area. Like, we must address this at the deadline, and we're going to talk about a move that's going to come up a little bit later that they're going to make today, but that's just purely because they need help in the pitching, but they are doing so good offensively that it doesn't matter at this point. Let's bring up some more guys to glaze. Addison Barger, hello. That guy kind of went underrated, or overlooked, I guess you could say, in the series because of just how damn good.
I wasn't overlooking him.
No, but I was, because just how damn good Unk was, George Springer, and just how damn good David Schneider was. But then this guy has been quietly putting up a ton of extra base hits. Another stat here from Sportsnet Stats. Addison Barger's 18 extra base hits since May 30th, 9 doubles, 9 homers. Only Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh, the 2 MVP leaders right there, have more in the majors in that time. That's your guy. That's your forehead.
By 2, excuse me.
By 2, yeah.
2 extra base hits right there. Addison Barger, for me, is like, I mean, it's actually, I don't even think I need to say this right here. Yeah. Not only is he a locked-in everyday dude for the very foreseeable future, but I do think that this is our 4-hitter. And
100%.
When Anthony Santander comes back, I mean,
you can't be hit.
Yeah, it's Barger now. It is Addison Barger is the guy. The power bat, the slugger that we've been waiting for. We have not had a guy like this for a long period of time. I made a short, probably prematurely, about a month ago, relating Addison Barger to Josh Donaldson, the way that he was playing baseball. I still stand by that.
Well, because he's still doing it.
He's still doing it at a very, very high level right now. And we are not even remotely close to seeing the ceiling of Addison Barger. We're just barely scratching the surface right here,
I know.
folks. Maybe the most reassuring thing for me as well with Addison Barger is that the book is out now.
Yeah.
The book is out, which is that breaking stuff, off-speed stuff, especially low, and in the dirt, he'll swing. But recently, he hasn't been doing that.
Well, and recently here's the thing. I was going to say recently he has been, but making contact. Why? Because he's looking for it now. He understands how pitchers are attacking him, and he's going down there when he's behind the count and looking to do damage on breaking stuff. It's excellent what I'm seeing. This guy has a maturity beyond belief. Seriously, he's out there, and even George Springer talked about it in his post-game interview with Hazel May, that he's seen the maturity and the growth from Addison Barger, understanding how pitchers are attacking him. That's how you can quickly fall to the big leagues. You have a great month, awesome, aka David Schneider, back in 2023, and then you just aren't able to adjust and hit the pitcher's pitches. He can make the adjustment physically, mechanically, mentally up in the box and get to those low pitches.
Yeah, 100%. I'm looking at his stuff right now, man, and the breaking stuff, which is supposed to be his Achilles heel, it isn't nearly as bad as it was like a month ago. I mean, he's batting 246 off of it right now, which if that is the worst thing in your repertoire and you damage the fastball as much as he's been damaging it, you will be a successful MLB player. Looking at all of the just expected numbers, sabermetrics, all that stuff, like maybe Josh Donaldson's an unfair comparison. Maybe you want to let me know that in the comments, but like Teo for sure.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's our Teo replacement right there.
This is the new Teoscar Hernandez right here. Yes, he swings and misses. Yes, he strikes out. But when he gets a hold of it, which he does more times than not, it is on a line. It is on a rope, dude.
And also shout out to that arm strength still at the 100th percentile.
I know, yeah.
Like this guy.
Well, that's not going away anytime
That's not,
soon.
dude. It's just remarkable to see. Also, time for some more glazing, y'all. I saw Sophie in the chat being like, should we lock George in the 2-hole, especially when Varsho and Saltair come back? Well, also in the 2-hole. Maybe, actually. He is doing pretty good there. You got Bo Bichette there, George Springer. You got Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Barger. Then Kirk. Santander and Varsho, like, keep going down. Like, that's honestly a luxury, the fact we have those guys there. But what I was getting to is that I know she brought up earlier that she wants to talk about George Springer. I know she does, so let's talk about George Springer. Unk was the MVP of this series, and honestly, it's going to be hard for him not to be Jay of the Week at this rate, because what he did against the Yankees, he carried the Blue Jays. He went 8 for 14. With 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. That is a franchise record. Now, we can't tell if this is a franchise record in a 4-game series against the Yankees or just a 4-game series in general, but that's a franchise record with an OPS of literally 2,095. So Unk has still got it. How's he doing it, man? God only knows. I genuinely don't know, but all I do know is that when he's getting his pitches, he's not missing them. That's all I know. That's all I know.
I was on the radio yesterday, and we were talking about George Springer, and I think that, and first off, sorry, George, like both Adam and I were off your train completely walking into this season.
Understandably
and during last
so.
Season. So major apologies, but I just think it's such a testament to his character and also like the greater view of this team that George Springer, who's 35 years old, who has already proven all he needs to prove in MLB. He's won a World Series before. He's won had accolades in the playoffs, got his big-time contract, got his big-time payday. He's done everything there is to do. Like, he's 35.
He could have just rolled over and died.
Exactly.
He literally could have just gave up, took his money, became a Blue Jays analyst. Could have just done that.
Like with the way that people were talking about him, I don't think anyone would have blinked an eye if George Springer came out this year and did just do that. But instead, battling against the adversity from us, from the other critics around MLB, from the probable inner demons that he was dealing with all of last year and spring training, this dude said, hell no. Came back better than ever, put in the work, and I just think that if you're a young guy right now, if you are somebody like an Addison Barger or an Ernie Clement or what have you, and you're watching that guy who does get paid significantly more than you do and has done everything that you want to accomplish, and who had the season that he had last year, come and show up and put in the effort and bounce back like this. Like, that's just a testament to the grit of this team, man.
And I got to actually give a lot of credit for George leading the way, honestly. Like, this team, for the large part of April, wasn't this great offensive juggernaut. Like, fuck, we were looking at this team like, damn, is David Popkin's strategy really working? Like, is this team still kind of the same team as we saw last year? But he led the way. He bought into the David Popkins philosophy, and he's mentioned him in every post-game interview as to, why are you doing so successful? What has changed for you? He always points to David Popkins. He set the example, and hitting is contagious, everybody. When you go out and you prove that a philosophy works, and then other guys around the lineup go, dang, it's really working for Unk. I'm sure that's exactly what they're saying. Yeah. And then they start buying in, and then they start doing it well, on the field and putting up great numbers. Now everybody's bought in and doing well. Maybe not Vladdy at this point, in the last little bit. Maybe he's just going through something. Maybe he's forcing a little bit. He does look like he's forcing a little bit. But still, everybody's bought in. And that's what's creating the great depth of this lineup.
Yeah, he's leading by example. So, Sophie, I know that you have been a ride or die for him for quite literally ever. Congrats. It is paying off dividends right now. Shout out here to Absolute Dan, who's been a member for 11 months. Go Jays go. Talk about the Nathan Lucas at bat. 14 pitches was just insane.
Buddy.
I will happily talk about the Nathan Lucas at bat.
We had it queued up, buddy.
I was claiming yesterday, and I still claim that might have actually been the greatest at bat I've ever seen. Like, I'm not
100%.
I'm actually not exaggerating. I was gobsmacked, flabbergasted, in awe, and speechless after that insane 14-pitch at-bat by Nathan Lucas to take the lead, scoring 2 runs in a key situation. Let me say it again. Nathan Lucas. In spring
Nathan frickin' Lucas, buddy.
You would have told me that this guy's in a key situation and, we're relying on him to battle 14 pitches and plate 2 runs. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's why he's up in the lineup, right? That's why he's first when Bo Bichette's on the lineup. And some people might look at that and go, why the hell is Nathan Lucas up there? I'll tell you why Nathan Lucas up there. Look at that whiff and K and walk rate. That's a guy that doesn't strike out, puts the barrel on the ball. I mean, that at bat is a perfect example. He fights, he's gritty. He's literally the definition of a ball player. I could look past some of these barrels and hard hits and all this stuff. I don't care. I'm not expecting Nathan Lucas to come out and be Addison Barger. I'm expecting Nathan Lucas to put up an effing fight. He's actually, funny enough, he's probably the opposite of Addison Barger. Like, he doesn't get the barrels, but he definitely doesn't get the swing and miss. He gets the walks. He doesn't strike out. That's what Addison Barger does, right? This guy, 14 pitches. Look how much of a swing that did for the game in terms of the win probability. A 14.2% plus for the win probability when Nathan Lucas got that RBI double down the line. And from then on, I knew Jays were winning this game. Like, it was inevitable at that point. So big shout out to Nathan Lucas, honestly. The at-bat of the year and an underrated guy again in this series.
1,000% the at-bat of the year, man. I almost want to, I was thinking to myself about doing, a full breakdown of it or something. Because,
it is quite deep.
I've thought about it multiple times.
You know what's my favorite pitch of that at bat actually is the 2-2 fastball he took outside after pitch 11 or 12.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, it was that's a pitch you could easily give into 100%. And he took that.
Yeah, because he was in full-on swing mode, fighting everything off. The fastball, then the slider again, then the fastball. It was coming at him.
He was mixing it well.
I thought it's okay, we're swinging until we put one in play. And he gets the fastball, and it wasn't even that far outside. It was close enough that you definitely could have convinced yourself to swing at it, and he took it. And that, to me, that is just pure class, clearly, locked into that moment. I don't know if I need to be crediting David Popkins or just Nathan Lucas or whatever, but it was actual magic.
He's a ball player. That's just a determination to fight and stay alive and come up with a big hit. And I got to give him a lot and that's why I like Nathan Lucas. Again, I'm not saying he's Addison Barger or the top 5 or top 6 guys, but I know that this guy will give me a good at-bat, and I know he's going to give me a good effort in the field. There's been a couple moments when he had a couple questionable stuff in the field, but he still gives you a great effort, and that's all isn't that all we really ask for? I mean, how many times have we complained about Vladdy?
I do ask for results.
But you're not expecting all-star caliber stuff from Nathan Lucas. You're not, right? And all I'm asking from a guy who's our 4th outfielder is to give me a chance to hit an RBI double down the line, and he tries to give you a chance more than the average person because he's literally above average.
100%, man. Yeah, 100%. So Nathan Lucas, what a amazing at bat. Also, not true, Big Hawk Hockey. Definitely not true. We disagree on quite a lot of things, actually. But I mean, it's hard to disagree on how well the Toronto Blue Jays are playing right now because it has been absolutely fabulous. That being said, though, there is still a big area of need that has been glossed over quite a bit, I think, just because of how great the Toronto Blue Jays have been playing.
Yeah.
But eventually, they're not going to be scoring 8 runs a game. Eventually, they're not going to be having a 14-pitch at-bat because that's just really fucking hard to do. Starting pitching and pitching in general, bullpen as well, has to be better. They need to go out. They need to bring somebody in, probably multiple guys at this point. Because whilst the offense has been on a generational run right here, and it has been generational because they're setting literal career high or franchise highs right here. So generational run. The starting pitching has been on a generationally bad run. 26th in starting pitcher ERA. The whip is high. Everything's high. Everything is high right now. And the relief pitching, I feel like it's starting to take a step back as well because it's having to make up for that starting pitching so much. And we don't have enough guys in that bullpen to, be able to pitch multiple days where, Chris can't go that deep, or, Jose can't go that deep, or whosever day it is to blow up today, they can't go because the guy yesterday also kind of blew up.
I mean, yesterday, literally, if you look at right here, this is Fangraphs. I love this little layout. I look at this all the time when we're sitting and watching the game, and I'm thinking, okay, who the hell are they going to put in now? Like, well, who would I put in based on what they've pitched previously? You saw yesterday, they already pitch, or 2 days ago, they pitched Hoffman, they pitched Yariel, they pitched Jimmy, they pitched Little, right? A lot of pitches too, as you can see the pitch count numbers right there. So all they really had was maybe you get Hoffman, but that's even pushing it because he's already pitched for the last, or 3 of the last 4 games. So they had to go Fisher, they had to go Green, they had to go Brewhill, but you literally burnt it all other than Nick Stanlin. So if you're looking at tonight's game, you're probably going to get, your Yariel back, your Jimmy, your Little, but you have guys giving you 20 to 30 pitches every other night. Your arm is going to fall off. If you literally ask these guys to give you 20 to 30 pitches every other night, that puts you on pace for 81 innings. That's a lot of innings, and the Blue Jays need some help, and they're actually going to make a move in a little bit. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but I want to get your thoughts, when is it going to fall off, or what do they need to do in the meantime to kind of save them? I guess.
Okay, I'll tell you what. It's going to fall off the second that the offense stops putting up 8 runs per game. That's when it's going to fall off, because these games, the New York Yankees, they also scored a lot too, right? There was a game where the Yankees put up 9. Yesterday, they put up 5, right? These are games that earlier in the season, Toronto loses because the offense wasn't going nuclear back then. They were honestly below average at that point. Starting pitching was pretty good, but if, had they given up as many runs as they gave up this series, we would have been lucky to split it, let alone, get a win in the series. So credit to the offense, but eventually that is going to cool off. We need to be aware of that. I think that if you're Ross Atkins and you're Mark Shapiro, I know that you guys built this team and you got to be feeling very proud right now, but let's be completely honest. This is better than you expected, okay? Let's not wait for the other shoe to drop. I have been saying this now for several weeks. There are a couple individuals on a couple different teams who are almost assuredly going to be sold. Is it going to be tough to get them to get dealt right this second?
Yeah,
probably.
Absolutely.
Probably. But it was also tough to sweep the Yankees, which you just did, okay? Your offense is holding up their end of the bargain. We have got to go make a move sooner rather than later, dude, because, yes, there will be a time where this becomes a significant problem.
I just think it's going to be tough to make a move a month out from the trade deadline. Teams, if you're holding on to a significant asset, let's be honest, I want to get a significant asset in terms of starting pitching. Maybe you go get it, maybe get 2 pitchers. I don't know, that's crazy. But if you're really wanting to get a all-star pitcher that's going to lift up this rotation, most likely those guys aren't going to be available to a week and a half before the trade deadline, which is after the all-star break, a few series after that. So right now you kind of have to band-aid and survive, which is unfortunate. I know people are calling out that who is it? Burr. Ryan Burr could be coming back. You need guys like Ryan Burr to come back, give you innings. You need guys like this to come up and do something. This is crazy. They're going to call up Lazaro Estrada, a longer relief starting guy who's been grinding it out in the minors for years right now. He's playing terrible in AAA. He's playing terrible. He's almost got a 5 ERA. But you literally don't have any other option because they're probably going to make a move, call up this guy, and probably send down Brewhill, and that's exactly what is going to happen.
Yes, and yes. However, to Big Hog Hockey's point, this is definitely where I will disagree, kind of, in the sense that I agree with you. It will be very hard to go out and get a deal right now.
Yeah.
I still need to see, and this is the shit that we don't know. We don't know behind the closed doors. I assume Ross is talking, but I need to see a significant amount of effort because I didn't expect the Toronto Blue Jays to be in this power position that they are in. I don't want to see it slip away because I cannot deal with Yankee fans tweeting at me after they retake the division, should that ever happen at this point. Get on the phone, be willing to overpay a little bit. At the very least, give me a bullpen arm soon.
The
bullpen needs help.
Yeah, here's the thing. The starting pitching is going to be Like, we're not getting a starting pitcher in the next week. We're not doing that. Like, maybe you can get a bullpen guy. That we've seen him do that in the past. Ross the boss, like, trade for a bullpen guy. Maybe it's not a high leverage guy. Maybe it's just a depth guy, like the Zach Pops of the world. Maybe you go do that because, yeah, right now it's running thin. You do have an off day this upcoming Monday, and then you got the All-Star break. So that will give your bullpen all the rest it ever could possibly need. So there is a couple stops. We just need to Band-Aid this series, honestly. That's what Estrada's coming up for. Take the off day, then you got to survive a little bit more, and then you're okay. So it's not like it's like do or die right now. If someone gets hurt, if a bunch of guys start getting hurt, now it's do or die. Now you got to force something.
It would be 100%.
Now you got to overpay, because right now you'd have to overpay if you want to get like a top end guy. So right now you don't need to overpay, in my opinion. You can kind of Band-Aid it with these other guys and hope that your hot offense just kind of carries you a little bit.
When it is time to go all in and push the chips in the middle, somebody brought it up yesterday, and I couldn't agree more. I want to pillage Kansas City. I want to pillage and steal all of Kansas City's pitchers that they have. Seth Lugo is an individual who is playing phenomenal baseball right now, 35 years old. Did you know that Seth Lugo was, I had no idea about this, second in, second in Cy Young votes last year.
Yeah, I think I thought I had it on my fantasy team.
I had no idea that was the case, but that's a real stat that was true. Obviously,
he's amazing.
He lost out to Tarek Skubal, obviously, which will probably happen again this year, but he's playing phenomenal baseball right now. And Chris Bubick over there on the Kansas City Royals also playing phenomenal baseball right now, both of whom could get shipped off, considering Kansas City is like 6 or 7 games below 500 right now. So that is who I want to pillage when the time comes, because we do desperately need somebody to be pitching in maybe game 1 or 2 of a wild card should the Toronto Blue Jays make it there.
Agreed. And you know what we'll do, guys? So we are doing a bunch of live streams, when we get past the All-Star break, once it starts to get into big trade deadline season for those like 2 weeks leading up to August. We'll make a board. We'll have all of our targets. Remember we did last year? We had all our targets. Right. We had like likelihood of getting this guy. Are we in? Like, what is this heating up and whatnot? Let's do something like that this year, because there's a lot of guys. There's a shitload of guys that we talked about.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's no, it doesn't feel like there's any Juan Sotos or anything like that.
Right.
Granted, I mean, nobody expected Devers to get moved, so anything can happen. But there is a lot of quality players out there, which I'm hoping the Toronto Blue Jays can get, one of, if not more than one of. So, yeah, that's where we're at there.
Stay tuned for those live stream, guys. Before we talk about the series upcoming, let's talk about the J of the month for June. We always do this every single Blue Jays Today show after the month is complete. No Unk in this one, though he's on pace to being J of the month for July. He didn't have a good June, but we have our J of the month, and we let you guys vote on our Twitter. This is who won it. Give a big round of applause for the All-Star, Captain Kirk. J of the month for June, who led the team in OPS of 913, batting average of 337. Pretty damn good, and the Kirk he's an All-Star, like I said, and he's would be a Silver Slugger if it weren't for Kyle Raleigh.
I will never tire of telling you guys I told you so. I will never tire of it. It feels so good to just be able to shove Alejandro Kirk and his incredible play into the faces of everyone who ever doubted him, and we have a long list of comments of doubters out there for Alejandro Kirk, but the dude's been fucking awesome. He has been able to take that starting catcher role and just run with it. You want to talk about, because I always wondered, it's like, is there something to the fact that, like, Danny Jansen and Kirk, they're always splitting time here and there? Like, is it tough for them to get into rhythm? We were always fine with it because majority of the time it worked out and whatever. I mean, like, maybe there was something that. Maybe there wasn't at all. But, like, now that he is the absolute man, he is owning his role better than anybody could have expected. Probably even me, to be honest. Yeah. And I gas him up like crazy. So, Kirk, hats off to you, dude. You're the GOAT, man. You're the glue guy. You're the glue guy of this whole team.
He is, man. And remember we thought Danny Jansen was the glue guy? It's actually Alejandro Kirk.
It is actually. It's the captain.
It's the captain. He's literally the captain of the Blue Jays.
Yeah, this thing. We call him the captain. fuck were we thinking, man?
It's not just
the blue guy.
It's not just a joke to Star Trek. He's literally the captain. Okay, guys.
Literally leading the team.
Also, another shout out here. Honorable mentions to Jose Barrios in the month of June. 1.97 ERA, led all the starters in a rotation where we needed starting pitching. Jose showed up for June, so shout out to you. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. also quietly put up the most RBIs with 18, so shout out with an 899 OPS. People saying he's not worth the money. And then Braden Fisher, Fish Boy, a lot of people's favorites in our chats. No earned runs. He did earn some runs in the series we just had, but none in the month of June. So shout out to all of those guys. Also, guys, let's give a quick shout out to the mailbag as well. I have it right there pinned in the live chat. If you want to ask a question, put it in there. We'll answer a few at the end of the stream. Shall we move on to another great series where we got to go and dominate?
Let's talk about the LA Angels. And everyone, we are going to be live this evening for the game. It's an Apple TV game. I know, boo in the chat. Lots of you guys don't have Apple TV. That's okay. Come hang out with the Blue Jays today, boys. We'll be doing our best announcer play-by-play impression. I know we can get off of it sometimes, but we'll be calling the pitches. We'll be doing everything. So if you can't watch it, or if you can, you just want somebody to watch it with, stop in this evening, 7 p.m. tonight, Toronto, LA, in Toronto, taking on the Angels, who are 500 right now. Eric Lauer going to be on the bump for the Toronto Blue Jays. Do we know who it's going to be for LA?
Should be Kyle Hendricks, unless there was an update that he's hurt. I didn't hear anything before the show. So Kyle Hendricks is lined up and projected to go. I mean, if he isn't, then it doesn't really matter, because that means there's someone worse than Kyle Hendricks going to be pitching, because Kyle Hendricks has been bad this year. He's been drifting off into the sunset in his career. You know, he's got an ERA of 5.12. You know, Cape and I's terrible.
Projections, though.
Projection. Excuse me. Never mind. 4.66 ERA. My bad, y'all. Still bad. Still with a terrible K rate. I'd be thinking that the Blue Jays have a great chance. Now, however, we just brought up the bullpen is taxed. Eric Lauer can only give you 4 or 5 innings. That's all he can give you. And then we're going to have Estrada making his debut for the Blue Jays, probably coming in after Eric Lauer. That would be my guess. And then we have, we're just trying to salvage the bullpen. So is that lineup better than Kyle Hendricks and the Angels, who overall as a bullpen have one of the worst in all of baseball? Where are your thoughts right now, Nick, on this game?
I don't like the position that the Toronto Blue Jays are in, because obviously the bullpen is so taxed, and that is why I was screaming to go out and to get somebody. We need somebody. Imagine if we had a Ross Stripling right now. Oh, that would be amazing.
Imagine if we had a Ryan Yarbrough.
Ryan Yarbrough also would be pretty good at this current point.
That's the most petty guy we cut. I'm going to be so petty over here.
Either way, I still like Toronto, and LA. They just do not have a lot of good pitchers at all. So they are clearly in the same boat that we are. Before I give my official prediction, though, let's give a quick shout out to the other sponsor of this video.
Whoa, time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below to join the action. Only available in Ontario, must be 19 years older to participate. Please play responsibly. Now, everyone, back to the content.
Shout out to Betway, everybody. Here are the betting lines. Angels are the underdogs, understandably so. They are in Toronto, up against a very hot, arguably the hottest team in all of baseball. Toronto are the heavy favorites. The run line is at 9.5. I know that you like it going over today.
I do. I mean, the offense is on fire right now, and we are facing up against the Yankees' best pitchers. You got the Angels. Now, what you can't do as a Blue Jays team is underrate these guys and just start going out of your approach and starting to expand the zone. You got to stay in the zone. You got to be selective, and they can do that. They can easily throw up they can throw up 10 runs themselves tonight if they really wanted to. So I like it. And again, we also, for our side of things, we got Eric Lauer. Yeah, I know he's been very good, but then the bullpen, if you got Estrada coming in, what are you going to get from him? You might want to be, if you have a big lead, maybe throw in your worser guys. You can save the better guys for later. I think an over 10 run game, 10 or over, feels pretty good for me.
Okay, well, you guys let us know in the chat who you're riding with. I'm thinking Blue Jays win this one 6-3. 3. So
just under, eh?
Just under the run line. 9.5 is a bit too high for me, but it's still a relatively high-scoring game, all things considered. 6-3,
Yeah.
Blue Jays win this one. That's where I'm at. I just think that bullpen is worse than ours.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, and we will destroy them. And I'm going to say we're going to win this one. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to say we're going to win this one 11-4. 11-4 victory for the Toronto Blue Jays. And someone did bring up the chat. They do pop a few home runs, so they're 4th in the league in home runs, if you believe it or not.
Yeah,
so that
Mike
will
Trout and a couple of the other lads. They do like to pop
Taylor Ward, as
every
people
now
like
and
to
again.
bring up. Taylor Ward's got like 20 home runs
He does.
this year. Like,
he
what
has
the
a
heck?
shitload of home runs, actually. Surprising amounts.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that the Angels are very good at. Better than we are, actually, when it comes to the home run ball. So watch out, Eric Lauer. Blue Jays win game 1, though. Game 2, you're going to have Max Scherzer taking the bump. Not even going to try to pronounce
Who
it.
the hell is that? Kochanowicz. 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 Kochanowicz.
Well, it's
Kochanowicz.
It's the CZ at the end. That's like, what is that?
Yeah, I'm kind of just my brain making the Z an H.
Yeah.
Kochanowicz.
Someone let us know. Although I'll be honest, I actually don't care that much because we're gonna
spank him. We're gonna spank him.
All right, he's got a 5.44 ERA. The Toronto Blue Jays are going to annihilate him. That being said, though, Max Scherzer, I never know what to expect out of him, to be completely honest. Other than earned runs. I think there will be some earned runs. How many and how long he stays in the game, that is always going to be up in the air, though.
Yeah, he had a better outing against the Yankees. He went 5 innings and gave up 2 earned runs. So it was, like I said before, he did make that next small step, which is, can you give me either one more inning or one less earned run? Give me one less earned run. Against the Angels, though, I think he's going to do even better. Probably 5 innings again. That's all he's got in the tank. Can he go scoreless? Can he go 1 and run? Doesn't matter. Offense going to pound this guy. Blue Jays going this one like 8-1, and we're going to continue on our win streak, and we're going to be, I love it, we're going to have a 7-game win streak for the Blue Jays.
Okay, so Blue Jays are going to be undeniably maybe the best team in baseball at this current juncture. Final game of the series, and it is Kevin Gausman up against Ty Anderson.
Ooh, trade target right here, Ty Anderson.
Are we ballsy enough to say that the Toronto Blue Jays sweep again, or what do you think?
I'm going to say no. I am looking at Ty Anderson. He has been popping off in the last 2 weeks. The ERA, don't let it fool you, whereas Gausman, not so much. I'm looking over the last 14 days. He's been good, but he hopefully needs to get a little bit better. Ty Anderson. I'm gonna say this is gonna be one of those games where they pop a few homers off Gausman. He gets chased out in the 5th or the 6th or whatever, and they need length, so he goes that long when he doesn't have his stuff. And we're gonna get popped. I think we'll lose a little bit. We'll lose by 1.
Right.
Up that run differential.
Yeah. Okay, just lose by 1. Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of with you though. Like, it's so hard and unrealistic of me to say that we're gonna sweep another series.
Yeah.
That would be what? Like, that'd almost be a 10-game win streak at
That's
that point.
That's an 8 game at that point.
Like, that's just a lot. It's not impossible, but
that'd be awesome though.
Well,
Damn.
of course. That's,
God.
I mean, you want to talk 2015 vibes?
Yeah.
Like, there it is.
Yeah, they had an 11-game win streak in 2015. We need one of those, honestly. We're
on it maybe right now.
We got the Angels, pretty good pitching matchups other than Sunday, and then you got White Sox and A's, 2 of the worst teams in baseball after that. So, like, if you really do want to make a historic win streak, now's the time.
I do think that the Blue Jays will win this series, but I don't know if they're going to sweep it. So I also will say that they lose Sunday. I don't know if I'm feeling so confident about that. They're going to lose one of these games, I'm pretty sure, just because Jays have had a tendency to play down to their opposition every now and again.
And look at that White Sox series.
Look at the White Sox
a couple series ago, right?
This is kind of similar to that. That being said, though, I still do believe in this Toronto Blue Jays team to win the series overall and should be still leading the AL East after the weekend, which is ultimately always going to be the goal anyways. Of
course, guys. So that is our predictions for the weekend series. We're going to be live for it. We're actually going to be at the game on Sunday, hopefully going for the sweep. We think so, yeah. I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah,
I was talking to him. He's like, we're going.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So 90% sure we'll be at the game on Sunday. So if you happen to be at the game on Sunday, please hit us up on our Instagram. If you're not already, go follow us on our Instagram, by the way, guys. We're posting on there so much, just little updates here and there. Now let's get to the mailbag. Shout out to the 340 people who are watching right now on this Friday afternoon. Also, if you happen to be American, I know that we were getting on you for Yankee fans and everything like that earlier in the stream, but if you're still here, I assume that you're level-headed and awesome. So happy 4th of July, because that's also something that's going on right now too. Drew Gamer put this question into the chat. It's a long one, so I will read it out for everyone. Everyone from you guys to pass into. Even Ross himself says the Jays are going to be aggressive at the deadline, but the real question should be how aggressive. Is Ross actually going to empty the farm all out or in an all-out push? Are we actually going to trade Namala, Savage, or is he going to be aggressive but mindful? Find good deals that don't destroy the farm, like UFA deals or 3 starters. Where are you at? Are we going to absolutely empty the farm system, or are we going to be mindful?
I don't think he closes any doors to emptying the farm system. I think he will be mindful to begin, but he will be aggressive and go after guys. Like we talked about Jacob deGrom. We talked about some other guys you can go and get. I mean, hell, like if you really want to go for the cream of the crop, go for Paul Skeens and try to get him, like, and empty the farm system. So if the deal's there, he'll be open to it. He's always been open to it. But I think he will be a little bit mindful, just because those two guys, in my opinion, maybe Ross views it differently. Those two guys are different than all the prospects we've seen in the past, where they actually have some potential to do impact in the next coming years. So maybe he keeps those guys. I think we have great farm system depth outside of those guys that we could ship off. And we have lots of depth in the infield and outfield that we could ship off and flirt with that idea. So, and looking at the market as well, they're not relatively expensive. Ben Nicholson had a great article piece breaking it down, and none of the guys really warranted a Namala or a Savage to go get the areas of need that you need to address. But if you are going to get the cream of the crop and make a huge splash like a Rafael Devers or a Jacob deGrom type of level stuff, then I think he'd be open to it.
See, I do think that, I honestly think that he's always going to be mindful. You got to imagine, like, I hope he's going to be mindful.
Of course.
But I think that actually this year he's going to be more interested to maybe go insane mode and put all of the chips into the middle than in years prior. This is kind of a job-saving year for Ross Atkins, so that's always something that we got to keep in mind. It's not guaranteed that he's going to keep his job, even though they're playing really, really good right now. That's still on the table. He could get moved on to for somebody else. This is also potentially the best the best shot that he has ever had to maybe even win a chip.
Right.
And you got to imagine, right? Like, we're obviously gassing them up and being like, well, when was the last time they won 49 games in 87 games played? 1993.
Right.
He sees that too. And the ultimate mission for any GM is to lead and construct a roster that goes on to win it when it's all said and done. So if he's truly buying in and believing like, oh shit, this is the best chance that I have ever had to win a series, win a World Series and bring a ring to Toronto, I think that he is going to go balls to the wall. Obviously, it is going to require the right pieces to be available. And, as much as I like, Eugenio Suarez, do I want to give up Trey Savage for him?
For a 2-month rental? Yeah, probably not. No.
It would need to be somebody with a bit of control. But I think that Ross is going to be on the phone and willing to make those deals if the right name is brought up.
Well, you mentioned World Series, and that brings us to our next question here from Tanner, who's asking how the Jays are doing right now. Is it possible for them to win a World Series if they stay like this? Well, Tanner, let me tell you this. If they are scoring almost 6 runs per game, which what was the average over the last 14 days or a month or something like that? If they are scoring almost 6 runs per game, yeah. Well, duh. It doesn't matter how bad our pitchers are being. Like, if we can limit them under 6 runs per game, and we just swept the Yankees, who were one of the best teams in the American League, then yes, you will if they continue to play like this. However, they're not. So I don't want to say they are going to or whatever. But if your question, I'm just answering your question, yeah, this is the best baseball team in the MLB right now. So yes.
Yeah, they're not going to be this good.
Yeah, they're not going to be, though.
We do need to come to terms with that. We're enjoying it right now, as we should, as we're entitled to. So, take that one to the bank and enjoy that series. There's still going to be times where the Toronto Blue Jays lose series from here on out. It's going to happen. There's going to be a stretch where they lose a couple games in a row. We're going to think that the sky is falling. It's not. They do need to go out and have a good trade deadline. They've shown now that they have the potential to win a World Series. If they were playing like this, If they were playing like the month of, or in the month of June,
Yeah.
and you could take that month of June and you could go plug it into October, there's a chance. You know what I mean? It's not a guarantee, because there's going to be other teams that are also playing that good. The Houston Astros, for instance, they have been playing out of their skin over the last month of baseball. LA's always good. Detroit's always good. So there's going to be other teams there. But if they play this brand of baseball for that entire month of October, that's what it takes, man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, who's the hottest team at the start of October? That's the team that wins it. And shout out to actually Whit Merrifield, who said on the six inning stretch podcast, the reason why they didn't win against Minnesota is they were playing like ass.
That's the thing.
Like, they were playing like ass leading into October, and they scored 1 run in that series. So there you go.
You caught us at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Quick shout out here to the 325 people in here. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button. Like Ann Beacock, like Tom Dinder, and like JaceFan27 are encouraging you to do so. Can we get up to 169 likes? I think it's very possible. Cole Herman asking, which shows did you go on this week on Sportsnet? Well, we were on the Sportsnet 590, the Fan, the radio station, and then this morning we were both on CP24, glazing up the Toronto Blue Jays, and then I was an hour later on CTV, glazing up the Toronto Blue Jays.
We've done the news so much, and we've realized when the hype is real is when the news starts calling.
So, you know what? In the next coming weeks and leading up to trade deadline, it's not impossible that should you have CTV, CP24,
Breakfast
Television, or various others that you may stumble upon mine or Adam's face while you're eating your breakfast or something like that. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. All right. Last question here from that guy. We actually got a lot of questions, so we appreciate you guys so much. This coming from that guy. Interesting thought. Do you think we should let Ernie lead off and let Bo hit second? I don't, because I think Bo Bichette's the best hitter on this baseball team. Just pure hitter. I'm just talking like this guy can make contact with a ball at any part of the zone, inside, outside, upside down. Like, literally, he is the best hitter. So I want that guy leading off. I want my best hitter at the top of the lineup. Ernie, though, was a fun experiment when it's a lefty and Bo's not available. I think when a lefty is on the mound and Bo's not available, boom, there you go. Ernie should lead off. But I'm loving that the fact that Ernie is down there in the bottom of the order as a sneaky threat against lefties or righties. Doesn't matter. I like it down there. And get on base for Bo. So I like it, right? That's why Bo's one of the best guys driving in runs. I like him at the leadoff spot, so I'll keep Ernie down there. Why not?
Yeah, I think that Bo is still going to be your guy up there, but Ernie in the middle part of the lineup is really nice for me. And, we kind of saw him at that 6th spot yesterday, and it's like, oh, shit, like, there's still production to be had down there.
Wow, Blue Jays baseball saying Bo is not the best hitter. Here's the thing. Best contact hitter. He's able to put the barrel on the ball as much as possible. Why was Nathan Lucas batting leadoff yesterday? He's one of the best bat-to-ball guys on the team. Whether you like it or not, he doesn't strike out, he walks a lot, and he doesn't chase a lot. There you go. And that's, same with Bo Bichette. He has that ability.
But to Blue Jays baseball's point, there is a lot of other good hitters on this team right now, which is a good problem to have. So we'll let you guys argue about that in the comments down below. Who is the best hitter on this team, in your opinion? Also, wildly embarrassing stuff right here. 36 divided by 4 is 9.
Oh, yeah. But also, like, when I brought up 6 runs, that was averaging over the last month, not this series. It's 9 per series, or 9 per game.
That is, I'm gonna have to think about that one, guys. If you haven't already done so, hit the like, smash the subscribe button. $4 a month, become a YouTube member. Shout out and thank you to all of our current YouTube members. You guys are amazing. We're gonna be live later this evening, watching the Apple TV game, and hopefully watching the Toronto Blue Jays continue to curb stomp their opposition. I'm actually very disappointed that we're not going to see Yusei Kikuchi during the series. That's like the one thing that I'm disappointed. And he's actually really good at baseball this year, which would have been tough. But I would have loved to see the Cooch get loose one more time.
I was going to wear the shirt. I looked at the shirt in my closet this morning. I was like, bro, if he's pitching tonight, I'm wearing it. I could have got loose with the Cooch, but
I might even whip it out anyways, just because, like, when else could you? But we're not.
That's what I was thinking. Like, there's no other time. But guys, let us know if you're coming to the game tonight. We'll be live. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, guys, go Jays, go!